As a part of leadership series, I will be talking on how to unite your team using communication skill. As a 21st century leaders, we want to have united teams because united teams are stronger, faster, and more engaged with reality around them. We show you how to organize the flow of information in team and use those advanced communication skills to build a united team. If you have got a moment, check out this one. Check out the video. What is it that brings the team together? In this module, we are going to learn about what it takes to build a united team. If we look at the control cycle, the answer lies in the common desire to achieve a goal. People come together, they choose to work together because they have a common goal. The only true way to unite people and maximize their performance is to ensure that they have something in common, a common goal, a common dream, something that overcomes their unwillingness to work together because people are not naturally inclined to cooperate. They will want to pursue their own agenda. Why should I help you? What is in it for me? One of the key things that the leaders have to do is to provide a common goal so that we will come together and work together to achieve the common goal. From hunting together as tribes to modern day football teams and corporations, we need to have something in common to compel us to work together. If it is in our common interest to work together as a united tribe, then it is also in our common interest to work together as a football team so that we can maximize our team's chances of winning. Unified teams are built by having common goals and common identity. When people work together to achieve a common goal, in other words, when they are all participating in control cycle, something new happens, the collective emerges. In other words, out of many me emerges a we. If you remember back to principle number three, this is called coupling. In this module, we are looking to emphasize that once the coupling has been created, it is the task of the leader to nurture and maintain that coupling to ensure that team unity grows in strength. If this our collective identity is not maintained, or if it is felt to be inauthentic or not trusted because the leaders pretend to work together for team, but actually they are only in it for themselves, then the group unity falls apart. People break off into new factions or pursue their own agendas. For example, a successful football coach creates a true team in which every player is committed to the team's goal and actively participating in achieving the goal. This common goal is striving serves to create an environment of united team. The key point here is that the united team is caused to exist. It is extremely important to remember that teams do not just magically appear out of nowhere. Putting a bunch of people in room together does not make them a team. It is only by setting a common goal, then encouraging and working and persuading and influencing the team people to pursue that goal collectively that a team can be built. And this is something that 21st century leaders must learn how to nurture and grow the unity of the team so that it does not fall apart. In today's crazy world, sometimes this might be a bit difficult to understand. So let's try another example, one that maybe we are all more familiar with. When two people meet and they like each other, they are still two separate individuals. However, if they end up liking each other a little more, they form a couple. This is a we. The two people, of course, still separate individuals, but there is a common identity that we of a relationship. However, as some of us have also experienced, things do not always work out in the relationship, and therefore there is a breakup. What that means is that we is lost. It disappears because it is no longer generated by the synergy of the two individuals in exactly the same way a team can break up too. So, whereas before there was a weird dynamic because all of the individuals were cooperating together to achieve the common goal and felt that they were participating in a common identity. If that's not nurtured and protected by the leader, then it can collapse, and it is just a group of individuals sitting next to each other at the office, but there is no real team identity. The reason why we want to have a united team is because the productivity gains from teamwork are enormous. Imagine one hunter working on their own to pursue animals and versus a group of hunters working together to hunt down prey. It is clear that group of hunters are going to be much more successful because they can work together and leverage the synergy of their strengths to generate much greater returns. And this basic principle divides the need of the team in all organizations. United teams are better and delivering faster results and more can do more than any individual groups of the people. However, due to mismanagement and poor leadership, teams can lose their collective identity and end up just becoming a bunch of people again. So it is really important to understand that you need to work as a leader to grow the unity of your team. And if you do not do that, if you just leave it, then the team will fall apart. 21st century leaders understand that they need to nurture collective identity in the same way that you need to invest time into your relationship with your loved ones. You also need to invest your time into the team to make sure that it grows and remains strong. Otherwise, you are going to have a nasty breakups on your hands. So, what is the key point that we are trying to say here? The key point is that people are united by having common goal and identity, and it is your task as a leader to make sure that people perceive those common goals and feel like they are participating in a common identity. That this we can see in the next slide, which is what the leader has done on the left is created a common goal of believing in the yellow team winning and the championship, and that creates a connection among three smileys faces so that each of them subscribe to the yellow identity. They are yellow people pursuing the yellow goal of winning the championships, and whereas the right, the leader has not put a common concept in place. As a result, there is no unity among the three individuals, and that's reflected in the fact that they are different colors. So the basic idea here is that we unite people to be one of the common platform by providing a common goal and common identity. This is one of the reasons why aspects such as religion are so powerful because by having a common religion, we create a common and shared identity. It also applies for national identities, regional identities, and also obvious in things like the sports teams. And the passionate fan identify with their team, and it is core part of who they are, and it enables them to connect with other fans who are like-minded. So, what you can do to actually make this happen? Well, this is where we provide the Unity framework to provide for practical activities for improving the unity of your team. In the top left, you can work on improving the ideas and the vision of the organization. And it should be highly creative exploration of the what the vision of the organization is. Focus on getting the people in your team to express what we care about and why does it matter that we do. It's sometimes considered a bit of waste of time to do these activities because they end up being very trivial and almost seems like it is a bit of waste of time. It is your job to make the connection. You need to help people understand how their day-to-day work is connected to overall ideas of the organization and to provide a clear path for them to understand that what they do matters. This should not be done in an inauthentic way. You need to be sincere in it and make the time and effort to build that true path that people can actually believe in, rather than just seeing that it is just some blah blah that management is providing to try and cover up for its own inadequacy. Step two, values explore the team values in a sincere and profound environment. This is the contrast in the first exercise, which is about high energy and high creativity, and the second one you are exploring what are the core values that this organization subscribes to. Almost all organizations today love to print out a list of values and print and stick them up on the walls everywhere. But that makes them static and inanimate, and most people are not even able to list what all values are of their organizations. Values need to be lived. So create a conversation in how we are living our core values. Why do they matter? How do they affect us in our day-to-day work? By making this conversation, people can explore those values and understand them much better. Step 3, generate powerful stories. People love stories because it provides them with a meaningful way of understanding what's going on, and it serves as a practical way of them being able to empathize with these stories. So enable participants in their team to share their stories of what they are doing. In particular, highlight how it aligns with the vision and values. Why what they are doing so great? What can we learn from it? The story can serve as a common mechanism that unites the team together. And finally, step 4, the great challenge or the opportunity. In this approach, you present your team with a really exciting challenge or the great opportunity that can transform their potential. What you need to do is to focus on generating energy by getting them to connect to this new idea, that this new possibility or the new threat, and then translate that into focusing them on how can they individually contribute to it. It is a bit of danger in the exercise to focus on too much of the high levels. Make sure you keep it practical and get them to understand what their role can be in overcoming the great challenge or seizing the great opportunities. So, what you need to do, step 1, identify the one activity that your team needs to from the Unity framework. Step two, carefully plan the activity and make sure you focus on the important details in the needs to run well, to take the time to really plan through every little detail and make sure you have a really fantastic session. And step three, go out and make it happen and then get ready to do it again. These things takes practice, so do not expect to be master the first time that you do. In summary, what have we learned during the session? We have learned that team, if left to their own devices, will automatically fall apart. Entropy always increases, and so the leader has to invest time and effort to maintain and build unity. You can improve the unity of your team using the unity of framework as well, avoiding key destructive actions. These are the things such as lying, such as actively describe deceiving people, and also around the idea of apathy. If you allow your team to be apathetic and not engaged in their work, then the unity of the team will also disintegrate. If you imagine that applied to a sports team, if no one turns up for training and does not work very hard, then the will of the team to succeed going to fade away. So make sure you have a highly engaged and energetic team, and if you do not work to create that, and then finally, good stuff that comes from the United team is increased engagement. It is reducing stuff, turnover, and ultimately will always improve performance.